So it's Black Friday or Black Thursday, and I'm here at Walmart. And this place is packed. I mean, to the brim. Look at that. It's Thanksgiving, and this place is completely packed. So we're gonna check out to see what it looks like inside.
Wow. Look at that.
99 cents? I'll buy that for $1.
Oh, sales are phenomenal. Oh, look at that. It's Garth Brooks's.
Oh, Chris Gaines. That's the one where he kills himself.
Did he?
No.
Oh. Oh, this is awesome.
Chris Gaines. Shoot yourself.
Look how much makeup he's wearing in that.
Damn, look at that. I got that.
I thought you were excited about how good it looked. You're like, no. Like, yeah, indeed. I used to read a lot of Nancy Drew. She was the world's greatest childhood female detective.
Oh, look at these. Nancy Drew.
It was suspenseful, you know?
Who's a suspect? Oh, look at this. Look at all these games.
What is this? For an old iPhone?
Alright guys, so as you've seen at the beginning of the video, I start off with a quick little visit to Walmart for Black Friday, but actually it was Black Thursday because it was actually like 8 o'clock at night on Thursday, Thanksgiving, the day of Thanksgiving, where they do everything a day before Black Friday. So Black Friday pretty much is non-existent nowadays since everyone goes after Thanksgiving, either dinner or lunch or whatever it is that you do. And I wound up going when the whole thing was just dead already. At 8 o'clock, it's already dead. They start that deals stuff at like 6 o'clock in the evening. And because people in Texas mainly do Texas turkey lunch and not dinner. But I'm from Chicago, I'm up from up north, and we do dinner. So I had to wait after dinner to go and see what kind of deals they had, which I was happy with because I totally avoided the entire fiasco where everybody goes and they rush in and all that crap. By the time I went there, it was already dead. Granted, a lot of the games were already gone, but at the same time, I looked at what they had and I really didn't have any type of interest per se. I didn't have any interest in the games, so I mainly stuck to movies, and I did pick up a lot of movies, but at the same time, I'm sure you're not very interested in seeing what kind of movies I picked up. I showed some of the movies in the video clip, but for the most part, I'm not going to show you those. I'm going to just show you the games that I picked up after that fateful day at Walmart back in Black Thursday. So I've been picking up a lot of games, guys. So I've got a huge stack, a huge backlog of games. Now, as of late, I've been playing a lot of those games to show you a little bit of what I'm experiencing picking up these games. And that's why it's been taking so long to get these videos out to you, because I've actually taken the time and playing an hour or two of the game so I can give you just a little bit of information on whether or not, if you see these games out in the wild, maybe to pick them up or maybe to just completely stay away from them. Okay, so first off here we have Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty. I did play this game quite a while back ago, but I will do it no justice explaining to you what it's mostly about. So I'm just going to go ahead and read to you the introduction that they have for you on the back. Solid Snake is back in his latest installment of the critically acclaimed series from director Hideo Kojima. Top secret weapons technology is being mysteriously transported under cover of an oil tanker to an unknown destination. Armed with an arsenal of new weapons, supplies, and stealth maneuvers, it's up to Snake to infiltrate the transport and keep this deadly weapon of mass destruction from falling into the wrong hands. The new features include new moves and infiltration methods, such as diving somersaults, hanging from ledges, and using disguises. Battle new, highly skilled opponents, as well as some returning vengeful foes. Fully interactive environment where bullets pierce steam pipes, smoke reveals laser beams, and wet shoes leave footprints. Powerful musical scores composed by Harry Gregson Williams, Enemy of the State, Armageddon, and The Rock. No shit. Alright, next up we have Star Wars Battlefront 2, which is my ultimate holy grail of the games for Xbox. I've got this on PlayStation, but for me, it was my Xbox experience where I fell in love with this game. I only paid $2 for it at Goodwill. I absolutely love that price, and believe it or not, this is the first time I've come across this game for this cheap. And this is my all-time favorite version of the game on the console I prefer to play it on. Now, I don't have to go into too much onto what is this about. Basically, you're a normal trooper going around in each battle, and you play scenarios from different wars, and it's so much fun. This game is a blast. If you have not tried this game, for the love of God, play Part 2. Part 1's okay. It brings you into the genre, but Part 2's where they perfected it. And don't get me wrong, I really love the PlayStation Battlefront. I love it, I do. But this one is close to my heart because this is the one I was introduced to. and I spent so much time playing. Alright, next up on the chopping block we have Need for Speed Most Wanted.
Hi, I'm Josie Marin, and I play Mia in Need for Speed Most Wanted. Make sure you do all your racing in the game. On the streets, drive safely and responsibly, and wear your seatbelt.
Now this game is known for two things in my opinion. One, the cheesy ass cutscenes.
First I'm gonna take your ride, then I'm gonna take your girl. Get ready for that.
And two, they introduced back the cops into the series.
Oh man, did you pick the wrong street to run on? This is a nice car. Gauges, shifter, wheel? Is this all for show, or is there something more I should know about?
I'd like to take a little peek under the hood.
Now, I love this series. I love Need for Speed. My all-time favorite Need for Speed game was Need for Speed Underground 2. I absolutely fell in love. That was my first game I ever played, and obviously it seems to be a trend where if it's the first one I played in the series, whether it was 1, 2, 3, or 4 in any series, whichever one I play the most is the one I always have for some reason most connection to, and that's for me. That's Need for Speed Underground 2 for me. I absolutely adore that game. I knew that game in and out. I did everything 100%, and I'm not a completionist, but I completed that game 100%, and it was for the original Xbox. I absolutely loved it. So when Need for Speed 2 came out, or when Need for Speed Most Wanted came out, I was really excited. But they took it out from underground and they put it above ground. Like, it's no more nighttime races like how you would do in Need for Speed Underground 2. They brought the cops in on this. It's insane the amount of cops that come after you in this game. It literally is one of the other points I was mentioning earlier. The cops mess with you in this game. So if you don't like racing with cops in the mix, this game isn't for you. They tried a new thing with this, and like I said, the two things that are the best thing about this game are those cheesy ass cutscenes, which are too far and in between if you ask me, because they're so hilarious.
I'll call you when the time's right. Later.
The acting in them is just horrible, but it's so funny, it's so good. And again, the cop aspect to it, man. There's so many cops that mess with you. There's a wanted level and meter where if you get like 1 star, like you don't get messed with too much. 2 stars start like roadblocks. 3 stars start bringing in like SUVs. 4 stars, they like start ramming you out of nowhere. And if you can get up to 5 stars, holy crap, these black Corvettes come out of nowhere like federal agents, and then they overwhelm you, and you cannot go any further in the game. So it's a lot of fun. If you find it for cheap, I highly recommend. So keeping up with the racing trend, I went ahead and picked up Midnight Club 3 for $1. The majority of these games were all $1. I rarely spend over $1 or $2 on these games. I will go up to $5 if it's worth it, but for the most part, I stick around the $1 or $2 area. And for me, Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition was another one I spent a lot of time with. I spent a good chunk of my time upgrading the first car I got in this, which was a Dodge Neon. It was a yellow one. I had it tricked out to the nines. I had all the special weapons on it where you blow your horn and you just blow everything away. And there was a lot of cool features that were included in this. Now, this one isn't my favorite one. Midnight Club 2 was actually my favorite one. Why? Because, again, keeping with the trend, it was one of my first ones from the series that I got to play. It wasn't until after I played Midnight Club 2 where I went back and played Midnight Club 1, and then I picked up 3, and I enjoyed all, but number 2 was the one for me. This one basically just gave you more features on how to customize your tuner cars and your muscle cars, and I liked number 2 better. I don't know, I liked the aspects or the racing aspects of number 2 better rather than this one. I love the soundtrack to this one. It's very memorable. I can't stop listening to it every time. Like, every time you pop in this game and the first song that comes out, I can't play it for you, obviously, for copyright reasons, but when you pop in this game and the load screen's on and you can hear that music, you're instantly taken back to memories of when I used to play Midnight Club 3. So along with picking up that one for $1, I picked up this one for $1, Kingdom Hearts Rechain Memories. So I couldn't believe it. It was complete. It was only $1. I absolutely love when I go to my local thrift store and pick up this game or these type of games for really cheap. This one obviously goes for more than $1. I've never actually played this one, and I didn't want to start playing this one for the sake of just like doing a quick little review of it. But if you want to see a full review, I will do it no justice by reviewing it for like a minute or two. So if you really want to see what this game's about, I highly suggest you jump on YouTube and just look for a review. I didn't start this game mainly because once you start these type of games, you really got to go more in depth in an hour that I usually give these games to give a good review on them, and I just couldn't do that with this one. So to give this game justice, jump on YouTube and look for a review on it. Alright, next up, I picked up this Dragon Ball Z Burst Limit.
奇跡の炎よ燃え上がれよ君の心に未来のため
Now, if you've never played any of the Dragon Ball Z franchise games, and you've got to play one of them, I highly suggest you play this one. This is basically, to sum it up without going into too much detail, it's like playing like the episodes. Like, you're literally inside the first 3 chapters of the story, and it plays really good. The 360 can handle the frame rates that this game requires for you to have while playing these fast action moves, and it's insane. The cutscenes that play throughout the fight is just awesome. If you guys like a really good version of the Dragon Ball Z series fighting system, or the game itself, or the anime, you're gonna love this game. Okay, I'm not gonna go ahead and lie to you and say that I played a lot of this game. I did play a couple hours into this game, but I can't go into too much story since this has a lot of story to it. Now, I'm aware that Darksiders 1 didn't sell too good, so they had to up the ante on part 2 to get them numbers up there. And with that, they expanded the world, way more new moves. I did play 1 for about halfway through the campaign, never finished it. The one who got me onto Darksiders 2 was my friend Austin. He came over and actually let me borrow the game. I wound up finding a copy for myself so I can give his copy back, which he's been nagging my ass for because he absolutely loves this game. This has to do something with the 4 horsemen and the apocalypse and the death of humanity by accident. And what I take a lot from this game is an action RPG where you go around filling up your experience points to get these new moves and tons of new puzzles. Just in the 2 hours that I played was tons of new puzzles And the gameplay plays a lot. For me, it plays a lot like Tomb Raider or Uncharted, with the scaling of the walls and the holding on to the ledges and stuff like that. But the combat in this game is insane. I got nowhere near leveled up, and I felt like such a badass. And if you can pick this one up for $2 or $3 like I did, I highly recommend. I'm going to finish this game, just not today. So this one I picked up for $3 at Goodwill as well. Brothers in Arms, Hell's Highway. Now, if you've played one first-person shooter battle, you've played them all. Now, that's not to say this isn't a good game. It is a good game, but like I said, I've played so many of these old World War II, World War I first-person shooters. They all kind of blend in together, and they really don't bring nothing new, except for I did see that this one did change it up where you got to control your men. But the AI was really shoddy. I remember there was some spots where I would direct my men to take cover at this certain spot, and they'd expose themselves by jumping over the object, not actually hiding where I tell them to hide. They expose and they mess up my whole awesome plan. And the enemy AI was just as bad. They just literally just stood still for a good chunk of the missions, where they wouldn't even fight back or even notice me for half the time. So, by far, this is not a perfect game, but if you like these old World War II shooters, then Brother in Arms, Hell's Highway, you could do much worse. So next up here, we have, in my opinion, a crazy hidden gem, guys, and I'm talking about 13 for the PlayStation 2.
Huh?
The helicopter. I remember.
They spotted you! Get off the boat! Now! Tim here! Do you read me?
Don't let him get away! Shoot him!
Jump ship! Hurry! I'll pick you up on the other side.
Sir, can you hear me? I'll take you to the first aid station. Try to walk.
Now, for those of you who haven't played 13, get on this game, especially if you can find it for $2 at a Goodwill or any of your local thrift stores. This game is quite commonly out there. It didn't get the praise it deserved, unfortunately. If you start off this game, you start off with a dude on the beach. He's got his a number 13 in Roman numerals tattooed on him, and all of a sudden you just get literally bombarded by guys that you don't know what the hell's going on, and you start fighting back. Now, I gotta tell you, if you're into comic books, guys, this is the game for you. This is like a living comic book. It's like you're playing a lived out comic book. It's insane. Aside from like the cell shading, because many games out there have cell shading, but the way this game tells the story in that comic book style, oh, this game is right up my alley, and it should be up yours too, because like I said, it's a hidden gem, and if you can find it on the cheap, guys, do yourself a favor and play this game. Okay, so next up we have Nuclear Strike, the sequel to Soviet Strike. So after very long cutscenes and tutorials, this game, it plays out like any other strike game. If you've ever seen it on, it's mostly popular on Sega Genesis games. If you've seen one, you've seen them all. It plays really good, honestly. The graphics for the time, I guess it's okay. What really stands out more about this game is that now you get to see stats on your screen, which is the only thing really different about this game. I spent a good time, like 30 or 40 minutes, just literally blowing shit up, picking stuff up with my winch, just going over it, and it'll pick it up automatically. You can zoom in on your map. The map really helps. It's going to be your best friend, really. But I didn't play long enough to get into any type of story or long enough to even clear a level, really. I just went around blowing shit up, having fun for the first 30 or 40 minutes of the game. So for 99 cents, I really can't beat it, and it wasn't in my collection. So it was overall a really good find at Goodwill. Okay, next up we have this Duke Nukem game for the Game Boy Color. Now, a lot of you might think, oh god, Duke Nukem on this little gray cartridge or this little clear cartridge. And I know what you might be saying. It's not going to be that good. But honestly, I had quite a bit of fun with this game. I got lost a lot of the time because the ship that you're in, you get your Duke Nukem. You start off the game as a contestant or some type of guest on a show where they're interviewing you. And then the aliens come and then they abduct you and then you're in their ship. But apparently they don't know who the hell you are because you saved the Earth 2 times prior to that. So they don't know who they fucked with, you know, they didn't know who they're messing with. And Duke Nukem for a 8-bit sprite looks really good. I mean, the game doesn't play like your normal Duke Nukem that you're used to. It's a really big platformer. I was really surprised at how big the stages are. You can get really lost really fast. You can get confused on where you are. The animations for the death sprites are insane. It kind of brings it down to home that this isn't a little kid game when you see the death animations for Duke Nukem. He gets quite a bit of lives, enough to handle the enemies that are dispatched to you, and the weapons are unlimited ammo, so you should have a really good time playing this game. Again, for those die-hard Duke Nukem fans, you might not like it, but for a standalone platforming shoot-'em-up game, this is really fun. And then here, lastly, guys, if you made it this far into the video, thank you so much. And for the final thing I want to show you is this weird Final Fantasy X2. There was a bunch of different imports that were on the shelf, and this was one of them. I didn't know what it was. I mean, obviously I knew it was about the game, but I couldn't read enough to know what it was. And at the bottom it has the little DVD symbol here. So I thought it was a game, but it wasn't a game. When I popped it into my DVD player, it's literally just cutscenes from the game. It's literally just, I'm not going to play any of the cutscenes or the music or anything of this because, man, I do not want to. Final Fantasy goes after anything the shit goes on, so I'm not even trying to. I tried uploading a couple Final Fantasy games earlier in the year, and it quickly got hit with strike notices as soon as they saw gameplay footage or audio footage or visual footage. They got me really good. So I'm not playing shit of Final Fantasy on this channel. But for the most part, it's a really good reference to if you don't want to play the game, you just want to see the cutscenes. This is it. I picked this up for $1 at the Goodwill, so it was a really good find. Well, there you have it, folks. That's all I picked up for... No, that's not right. I've actually got a huge stack waiting for you guys down here. I just gotta play some of them. That's what's taking so long and putting these video game hunting videos out, because now I just like to play the games rather than just pick them up and show you. I actually do enjoy playing a little bit of each game. It's really rewarding to play the games that I'm picking up for really cheap, you know, and give you guys a little idea of whether or not to play them or just completely stay away from them. Guys, thank you so much for watching. And again, if you guys want to watch more, at the end of this video here, you'll see 2 annotations of different videos on different game hunting videos. If you want to keep it going, by all means, click on one of those videos. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Okchief. Peace out, y'all.